Well, what's hot and what could have gone better this week? We'll start with at random, completely random. John Austin.
All right, what went well this week? I didn't die from choking on my Dayquil.
That's
what
positive.
Went wrong is I broke my toe because I took the Dayquil.
Yo, those on live stream, this guy has a fat cast for his small toe. Ridiculous.
True.
All right, so tell us. Well, okay, that's it.
Yeah, alignment could have gone better. That hurt a lot.
I bet. Austin.
Good thing. DMC weekend
That was fun, huh?
lit, and I don't say that for a lot of things ever, but it was lit.
I think that's the first time I ever heard that come out of your mouth.
I say consistently, like once a week. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got a lot of insight and stuff on a lot of things. So, what could have gone better? I think personal sales. Like, I know I was.
Wait, who has that
short on
music?
time. Oh, it's mine.
Oh.
I was kind of like cut on time, but I definitely could have like maximized my schedule a little bit more and done better. So personal sales, yeah.
Joseph.
Let's see what went well this week. My dad, his melanoma surgery was successful, so he's all good.
That's good.
What's not so good, I gotta go get tested for cancer now, so that'll be fun.
That's not fun.
Yeah. As far as sales stuff goes, Zyla told me out in the parking lot, one of my people is not doing what they said they've been doing, so I probably need to get in touch with her and figure that stuff out. And also my personal sales, I had 2 no sales Sunday.
But you also had an order in this week. You were not at 0.
That's true.
So progress. Not perfection, but you have some progress going. That's good. Xylocarp. That's another instrument. You didn't know that? Xylophone, xylocarp. Okay. Anyway, I was just trying to be different, so everybody calls you xylophone or never.
So, really, because last time you said my name was Xylophone.
Xylophone. Xylocarp, xylophone, Diaz.
Well, what could have gone better? The first thing that comes to my mind is definitely campus recruiting. I know that today and yesterday were not as hot as they usually are, so that could have gone better. Also, not having a phone kind of sucks.
You have a phone?
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
It broke and I'm getting one on Friday, but not having one at the moment kind of sucks in terms of work. What went well? What has gone well?
You had 2 reps launched, both sold for over $2,300.
There we go. That went well.
Yeah.
That went well.
That went well.
Is a fruit such as a coconut having a hard wooden hairy?
Oh, it's not a musical instrument. It's a fruit.
Someone else said it was a
You
musical
fruit, you
Such as a coconut.
crazy fruity girl. Okay. Well, you guys already know. So this Friday, remember we do have GCLA here in the office. I'd suggest. Well, remember, it's the 30th. So remember, it's from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. So if you're coming from school, obviously, whatever time you get here, understandable. But if you're not coming from school, get here early, just because remember that it's the whole division, and I don't want you guys stuck in the back because 1, it's hot, and 2, you deserve to be in the front because you're my people. So yeah.
It's one room.
Well, it's GCLA. It's not like a division meeting in this room. It's just GCLA. So, and we're probably have one of the bigger GCLA classes. It's you guys plus Zach, Barbara, John Bose, Adrian, Carlos, Cameron and Zach. But Cameron and Zach are obviously in different states, so they don't come to GCLA monthly. What do you mean? They go to school.
Oh, different states.
What do you think
I
I
wasn't
said?
thinking like territory states. I thought you were talking mental states. I was like, what happened here?
No, they're not tripping. They're
Okay.
they're just in a different actual like
I
geographical.
thought they didn't get along or something. They're like, yeah, they're not country states. they'll just
Yeah, because they fought because they used to be bros, but now
That's what I was
they're
like,
not. So
I want to see some Gold Star video.
you need to make a John Austin
That's so
says book dictionary. John Austin dictionary. What does preach mean?
Should.
Abbreviation for
Appreciate it.
appreciate.
I
Bigger
appreciate
than the
it. So.
Kardashians.
Dude, I want to show you.
This show would be called Just Know.
Just know with John.
Just know with John Austin.
Okay, let's stop this. Okay, cool. So we have that Friday. So make sure you guys have your startup number where it needs to be, which is 600, right? 600. So if you're probably there, last time I checked, most of you were past that, but just saw.
Did we end up winning that like cruise thing?
What? It's not over yet.
Oh,
Yeah, you have till the end of the year. Oh.
No, that's not a cruise.
The region
That's
trip thing.
Oh, that's the AM contest. That's something different. Yeah, so we were just shy of that, so we actually didn't win that. But we have to see if the region wins, because if they don't win, then you guys wouldn't have won anyway. But anyway, so yeah, I guess that's just a lesson to you guys. We gotta make sure everybody's on the sales report newsletter every single week. But yeah, so make sure your startups there. What else do you guys need to bring to GCLA is obviously look fresh, like more than conference fresh. So suited up. Yep. Ladies look, or lady. Oh, I'm Barbara. Ladies look fly. I know, she's in Austin. You want to tell her something?
Barbara, I miss you.
John Austin misses you, Barbara.
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah, in a fat minute. Cool. So, and then also you're going to be drilled on the campus approach and the PR approach and then interview. So, yeah, so make sure that today when we're role playing, we get that down. And then we'll have some live drills so we can critique each other. More so just how comfortable you are with the script, how you stand, voice inflection, all that stuff. Obviously, you guys know the sections that are the most important for you to memorize, which would be the face-to-face approach and introduction to the interview, as well as the pre-screen. So, yeah, I think Kathy wanted to go first. So she will take it away, and then we will do all of our drill and role play stuff.
Do we have a certain PR script that we're gonna go through today?
It's really just the one we've been using, which is the regular one that we have in the office, the one that all of us used to call PRs. So, I mean, I'm sure that's the
And
one.
I emailed you guys out
Yeah.
my PR script.
Yeah, so that's the one we're going to use.
Yeah, I don't really care as long as you're hitting, you're connecting with them, let them know why the heck you're calling, what we have available, and then building urgency to find a time. That's what's important. So, hi, hello. I just got back from 2 intense days of meetings in Chicago after DMC weekend with Chavez, Zach, Austin, which we had a solid weekend over in Austin, and then flew straight over to Chicago. So I am on the National PR Task Force. There are 10 people that really are working really hard together to drive our organization at the highest level. It's a group that moves the needle the most for our entire company, because we know that 70% of our recruits are personal recruits, and just the importance of that. And, how do we really maximize this? And even for you guys, as you're running offices or helping drive an organization, how do we make this as simple as possible? So we went through 2 days of meetings and collaborating stuff from our meeting that we had 2 years ago, calls we've had over the years, things that are happening now, and then really put some things together. And so we are, each of the managers, we are testing, we split up into different groups, and we're testing stuff for the next 2 months of the fall. So through October and November, we're doing tests, and we need to track all numbers for all this testing to see where we're at and how things are getting done. So one thing that we're going to be on, they're going to set up all of our accounts this week, is we're going to be on an automated PR system, or not automated yet. They're working on that app, but it's the first step towards that. But we're going to be doing mass texting to most of the names we get. So not the top 20%. So your sharp best kids that you're I want to personally talk to them, we're going to keep those. But the other, 80% of the people or whatever that turn in names, those names go into Vector Live, and there's a way where we just download that, copy them, put them into an Excel sheet and upload them into the app, and then press a button, it can send out, several hundred at a time. But as we walk through it, the guys who had been using it, Chad's been using it for several months, he said, responses coming right away. And one of the best parts of this is being able to catch people within that window when they're on their phone or they're available. So instead of, shooting them all out at once, he said it's best. He's like, if you have like 4 people, he goes, I'd probably send out like 50 to 75, like every 30 minutes, like whenever you feel like you've got, he goes, because when you send those out, you're going to get about 10%, like you're going to get a return right away from 10 to 20%, that respond like, oh, what is it? Or whatever, like immediately, so you want to be able to like contact and be like, oh, I'll call you right now and talk to those people, and then send the next batch out. He's like, so it's kind of strategic where later it'll be more automated. But he's like, there's someone who's the feeder, and they're sending the messages. All right, you call this number. It's like one place, like where all the IAPs go to. But where anyone who's responding, we're just, you grab this number, you grab this number. We're calling and we're setting people up, for this person. So getting them scheduled, but using that and feeding that into the system. So that'll be set up by Friday. And, Lorena will actually be, she'll still be working and in touch with you guys, but really it's something that I want all of our guys to lead, and whoever's running the office, whether it's Zach 2 weeks as the Dom, you're 2 weeks as the Dom, Chavez's 2 weeks as the Dom, Zyla's, running shit, whoever it is, and we're going to be doing a rotation to really make sure that everyone's learning how to do these things, to make sure like, so when you run it off and you're like, well, how do I do this? And so you really know, or you can ask questions to make sure you know how to do it. But we're going to be using that. So basically everyone's going to, for our test, everyone's getting texted and then called. So the names that come into Vector Live, we're going to use the account they're going to set up for us to do the texting out of. Okay. And then we'll just contact them, say, hey, I'm calling you from whatever number, we'll call them. So we're doing one text, because there's another group that's doing 2 texts and then a call. We're doing 1 text. And then if we don't hear from them, we're doing 1 phone call. All right. And so that's the test group that we're on, is 1 text, 1 phone call for the 80%. Then all interview PRs, as soon as the interview's over, we're doing 1 text message. And if they don't pick up, then we're doing a phone call. Or if they don't respond, then either later that night or the next day, depending on when the interview is, then they get 1 phone call, and that's it. All right, so it's just 1 and 1 is what we're testing.
So for 80% and post PRs, it's 1 and 1.
1 and 1. Yep, so they all get a text. So for the interview though, you could use the text app, because I know that Lorena has it downloaded on her phone, because she's been using that all summer, like a version of it, the personal version of it, so that they don't have necessarily your phone number or whatever. If you don't want your phone number out, I don't really care. I always text people for my number. But anyone that you interview, as soon as your interview's done, you text all the people, all the PR names that you got, you shoot them a quick text, and it's like, hey, just accepted your friend, and I'll have the text for you guys, but you're like, oh, just accepted your buddy so-and-so had recommended you. We still had some positions open. He recommended you, wanted to see if you had a couple minutes to chat. Okay. And then they're like, oh yeah, what is it? They're like, and you just give them a phone call and set them up. So you're setting those people up. So immediately after the interview, text everybody and then just talk to whoever responds to you. And then the next day we can call through or give it to a receptionist to call through anyone that didn't respond back. So that is with that's a test for text and call. So that's 80% through the system, and then personally or however you want, text and call all the interview. Everyone good with that? So that's that. Second thing is in training, which I'm going to get the final script, and I'm going to get this out to everybody. I hadn't received the email yet with the verbiage, like word for word. I know we've heard about it, but real simple. And we're going to do I'm testing a different version myself. Ben Jackson, like half of us are testing a heads up version versus for managers that were when we were at CFC, Drew, they went through like the top 5 program, and talked about that. But their text was, hey, my job has openings, blah, blah. I don't know if you have something lined up. Were you looking for work? That was a text they were sending to their top 10. Where what we're testing is half the group is doing that, and what we're doing is literally a heads up text. So in training, step 1, we do PR collection, right? We collect names, they upload however many names that they have, and then we say, hey, by the way, obviously we're not going to get a chance to contact, call all these people personally, but I'd at least love to help you guys with your top 10. And talking about how typically, if you uploaded 100, there's typically just about 15 to 20% that respond anyway, and then from those, we might get 5 to 7 scheduled. We might have a couple come in and maybe one starts, but if I can actually personally speak to your top 10 and they got a heads up from you, I'm much more likely to get 2 or 3 people and at least help you towards the team builder. Beyond that, it'll be on you, but I can at least help you get more if your top 10 know that I'm contacting them. So in training, having the paper, which in the summer they did top 5, but having a paper where it's like, hey, jot down who your top 10 and tell me a little bit about them. That way I can actually have a good conversation with them. I'm going to be a lot more likely to get you some more people. So they actually identify who their top 10, tell you a little bit about them, and then just shoot them a quick heads up text and giving them the text to send out, where the text is very simple, or we have it on the board maybe while they're uploading, where it just says, hey, my new job still had some openings. I recommended you. Heads up, my manager's going to be reaching out in the next day or 2. And that's it. And they're just giving their top 10 a heads up. So when I do call, if they don't pick up, I'll just shoot them a text. Hey, Zyla, this is Joe's manager. And I think he said he gave you a heads up I'd be calling, but had some openings, want to see when we can chat. And you might be like, oh, I can talk now, or I'm not interested, or, whatever. And even in the text, actually, that was another thing Mike said that we're going to put in was to say, hey, so-and-so had recommended you. Like if you texted your friends, right? And you're like, oh, dude, my new job I just started had some openings. I recommended you to the manager, so heads up, she's going to be reaching out. You're welcome to say no. You're welcome to something like that they had said. So it's like a no pressure, but most of them are like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll check it out. Be like, hey, talk to her, she's awesome, but you're welcome to say no.
Three-way?
No, not a 3-way. So it's just in training, the whole class is just shooting a quick heads up to their top 10. So on Sunday, so Zyla, you're running training on Saturday. We collect all the names. We get everyone. So the top 10, we're not going to be texting those later. So I should have mentioned this first. So first thing is in training, everyone's top 10, they're giving them a heads up and they're giving you a paper with their top 10 and a little bit about them. You're contacting those are on Sunday, or whoever, Lorena, whoever the head person, ideally it's the district manager or the DOM or the head people. You're personally contacting everybody's top 10.
Wait, so if we're not texting them through the regular system, so how are we filtering it out of Dr. Live? Do we have to, once we collect the top 10, go in there and delete them ourselves?
Right now,
so
we'll manually.
So in a class of like 20, 30 people,
We don't have that right now.
Do it, or no, I know, but I'm just thinking ahead. I mean, and we will have it in like winter break.
Yeah.
When it's
well, in the
super
summer,
important.
even this summer, I did top 30. I'd have them print out the list, and we just cross off the 30 people.
I'm just saying because the way they had it on there, it's like copy paste into the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just need to delete them, that they were contacted, those 10 people. Yep. So whoever's setting up for PR, there's a good hour of setup, before a PR blitz. So deleting any of the names, transferring stuff over, making sure everything's ready, whether we were printing out lists like we did before, or now we're not going to print out the list. Now we would just copy them into the system and just send out the message and people can log in. But there's definitely setup, but then everything else is way more efficient, as we're going through. So yeah, so everyone's top 10 is getting a heads up. And we're getting papers collecting your reps top 10. Those you're personally going to call on Sunday. And then on Sunday, we're also going to do the mass text to everybody else's list. Now, by the way, if you have some stud kids in training, Mary Lou, and you're like this 2, 3, 4, however many that you're like, these are freaking awesome kids. I want to personally talk, these are kids that I really want to multiply that top 20 percentile. We're not going to put those through the ringer. I was talking to Matt King, they said, do whatever you normally do with them. And so for me, I was like, all right, we'll do top 10. And then in advanced training on Monday, we can show that kid, hey, we set up these people. And Mary Lou, that's where we need to decide, do we want to have them look at their list, do another top 10 or whatever while we're in advanced training. But then after, hey, who are your next 10 or 20? Or do we do the 30 and we do 3-way text? Or Tuesday PC, do the 3-way text. But between Monday and Tuesdays where it's like, hey, I want to try to get you another 3 to 5 people for the training this week. Be like, easiest way is like you did with the heads up with those 10. If we heads up all these people, or I can just do a 3-way text, and then you can just comment on it. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. So then we can 3-way text, their next 30. So I was trying to figure out how to incorporate. A lot of the guys didn't They wanted to do three-way text. They didn't know how to, where we incorporate it in terms of a system. And I said, I think I'm just going to keep using that with my top guys as we're helping them reach people. But I do like the top 10 focus, so we're going to do that in training, and then we can use play with the 30 for Monday or Tuesday. I want to play with it, so we'll talk more about that. So right now, for all of you guys, we're running training on day 3. We're collecting names. We're giving them a paper, so we need to make a note that we need to print out the paper for the top 10 list. We need to get the verbiage for the top 10 to make sure we're getting that we mentioned that. So it's real simple in training, and they write that down. And then on Sunday, as we're preparing for the blitz, we need to delete those people from the system. And then so we can copy and paste and be ready to text. And then we need to do it in spurts, not all at one time. I thought 100 an hour, and then Chad said I'd probably do less, like every 30 minutes. He said play with it. You'll kind of figure it out, in those first 2 weeks. But sending those out, and as those names are coming in, we're talking to them. So that's traditional calling on Sunday for us and Monday. And then through interviews, immediately when an interview's done, you personally text your acceptance PRs and then just talk to the people who responded wanting more information. So anything but no, I'm not interested. So if they said, what is it? Where is it? Anything they comment, the response is, I'll call you in a minute with information, and then just give them a phone call and go through the PR approach with them. So questions on that?
Sunday morning, I guess this coming Sunday, we're going to start using all this program.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll probably have some questions about putting people into this new system that we're using.
Well, wouldn't that be whoever the PR manager is, or that's us?
Would that be us in the morning? Or
It will be. Right now, it's going to be them. I want to make sure they know how to do it, and Lorena can help out. Lorena leaves this Thursday, so she's gone for the next 2.5 weeks. So that will be them.
Yeah.
All the DMs. Everyone needs to know how to be the
Well, I
feeder.
wasn't saying Lorena would do it. I'm saying Valerie or whatever.
Right, but in their offices, they're not going to have a PR manager. It's going to be them. So they all need to know how to be the feeder. They all need to know how to do it for their offices. Yeah, so everyone says, so Valerie can learn it too, but Austin, you guys need to learn it. The other guys need to learn it.
Yeah,
so
I'm not opposed to learning it.
The weeks that you're running it, I want you guys doing it, not Val.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm just wondering because I have no idea how the system works.
Fred said he's totally open to walking through step by step. He said by Friday everything will be set up, and
especially
anybody who
if we're gonna have this top 10, I guess I need to see the systems go through and stuff.
yeah, and you could do a mock one by getting old names and uploading them in there, and going through that. So he said, and we might have it sooner, but he said by Friday everyone will be good to go. And anyone that has any questions, we want to get the kinks out before SLC next Tuesday because we'll all be busy on Tuesday. So he's between Friday and Monday, we want to make sure everyone has it set up. Chad said it was really easy. It's just they've been doing it and going through there. Mm-hmm. And he said too, his receptionist, if someone needs help with something, is willing to help us all out, because everyone's testing it. It was him and a couple other people that have been doing it, that have been using the system, but he's been the main guinea pig. And he's been on it for a while. And
I'd love to learn how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I can come in with you early on Sunday so we can do that together.
Okay. Oh, we should have a pancake morning.
Okay, so I wanna say one more thing before you guys dive in terms of where we're at and where we need to be as an organization when you're running an office and just the power of really focusing on the PRs, how that fuels everything and getting the best kids in. I think about for us, and we knew this in the summer, you guys weren't on staff, but just so you guys know, when you have an office and you're building a team, basically it breaks down, you plan on 20 PR set equals a launch, okay? The people who are not as efficient, it might take them 25. The people that are really efficient, it's 15, okay? But that's an average. 20 is about an average set per launch, just so you guys know. Cool? So if I want 5 PRs launched in training, how many PRs do I need to schedule? 100, all right? Yep. So that's what you want to map on. You want to look at stuff on. So when we look at why is our fall not going how we want it to go? Has anyone seen how many PRs we scheduled this fall?
Just under 200.
Yes. So just so you guys are aware and learning, because you can check this in Vector Live, all right? So in Vector Live, we had 133 PR scheduled as of last week for the entire fall, okay? for 5 weeks, which means that we should have launched 6 PRs in the 5-week period, which I think we're up. We have 14, so we are more efficient, you know, but we haven't really set ourselves up for success when it comes to, you know, having the amount of people that we need or want. This summer, what was our, can someone do some math for me? 2,333 divided by 172.
13.
Okay, so we did really well with efficiency as well. That's how many PRs we scheduled this summer, 2,333. We launched out 172 PRs this summer. All right, so we did a really solid job with that, but we really got to drive. And if you look at 2,333 and let's call it by 10 weeks, it's about an average of, you know, 200 plus basically that we're scheduled per week in the campaign. And that's really, if we want to build a powerful campaign, we've really got to be focused on the number of PRs that are being scheduled. So something that I did, and I'll put in our group for you guys to look at, and that's our biggest error. That's why we're getting crushed by the nation right now divisionally, even our office, and we're not performing where we need to at all, and we don't have the kids that we want to at all, is we're not driving a daily PR set number. So I said, I'm like, all right, so if we want to be launching 7 or more PRs per week, which is where we want to be, by the way, because then we'll have some IFs or campus, like the way we're going to get to 10 or more launched per week, like double-digit launches, which obviously impacts all your paychecks, having that is we need to schedule 150 PRs minimum per week. So how do we, you know, get that done? We need to drive a daily number. We do have a full staff. So it's like, okay, on Sundays, we have to schedule 45 PRs. So we've got 2 or 3 helpers, you know, each of them scheduling. The focus is everyone scheduling 10 plus, you know, and you guys trying to do 15 to 20. In the summer, in those 5 weeks when I was building, I was scheduling 20 PRs or more on a Sunday. That was my number, you know. So making sure that you're really committed to what needs to get done each day to hit it or beat it, you know, for the day. So I broke down and said, okay, 45 on Sundays, 30 on Mondays, 25 on Tuesdays, 30 on Wednesdays, 15 on Thursdays, and 10 on Fridays. Those are good numbers, you know, based on the flow of things. Why is Sunday biggest? It's Blitz Day. Why are Monday and Wednesday 30? Why are those the next biggest? We have advanced training that we're rep driving from, and we have team meeting. Tuesdays at 25 because we're still calling the leftovers, as well as we should be having PCs, and we'll get some people from that. And then Thursday and Friday is just 15 and 10, just everyone setting their 5 from their interviews or whatever, whoever's in, you know. And that's what I have there. So just really focus on that, which, by the way, we always, and in the summer during the peak weeks, we were driving, you know, 300 to 400 plus set, where during July, you know, later in June and July, we weren't really driving like those weekly numbers. And even this summer, by the way, as good as we did this summer, by the way, is one of the best summers of my career. Like I've had an office for 13 years, and it was in the top 3 summers in sales. I'll tell you guys, we did the poorest job of driving a weekly set number. And Mary Lou knows that. Back in the, like, we would just be like Nazis about whatever. We knew the number for the week. And on Wednesday, we were like driving that shit all the way until sometimes midnight until we hit that number. And so that's what I was telling you. Like, we're lacking that intensity of driving. Do you even know what the numbers are? By the way, that's on my end. That's on Lorena's end. I was like, Lorena, why are we not? This is what built our office. You know, she started with me 4 years ago. We always had, everyone knew, hey, here's the Monday number. There was a countdown on the board. And so I think about if you have your own office, you know, I had here someone who's brand new by themselves setting 40 per week. That gets you, you know, 2 to 4 PRs launched out. You know, that's 10 on Sunday, 10 on Monday, but having a countdown. And every time you book one, you're like, boom, got it, you know, and I did that for myself when we're setting stuff up. When I have, like, I'm setting 10 for the day or 20 for the day, and I'm just like marking them off, you know, until I get to my goal. But just making sure, like, everyone in the office, whether it's you by yourself, you and a helper, or there's receptionists, like in this office, making sure everyone knows what the number is. But back in my old office, we actually had like a glass door. And so Lorena would always write the countdown on the door every day. And so they knew, and it was just like a countdown. So is everyone aware? We haven't been doing that. We haven't been driving those numbers. We would have hit $1 million this summer for sure if we would have paid that attention to that we should have. And I didn't set that up with Lorena properly, and that really hurt us this summer. And she was playing a different role than normal. And we thought we were going to have a PRM, and then that fell through, you know, and no one ever filled that role. And so that's a really big thing. So as we go into things now, if all the staff is aware of that, when you come in for the day, you should know, hey, what's the number? Hey, where are we at? And every time someone's setting, and you saw those bits of intensity when Mary Lou was driving PR set number for the day, you guys have seen it, right? And we're like, the goal is 50 for today. And it was like, boom, and counting down. It's that exact intensity, but we did it on a daily basis. Whether the number was 10, 15, 20, there was always a countdown. And when there's a countdown, what happens? Shit gets done. Yep, and you guys have seen that, and you've seen it in the spurts where Mary Lou's put it on GroupMe or whatever, but there should always be a countdown happening. So I want to bring that back, because for us right now, we have a shot at hitting $1.5 million for the year. That's never been done over here, never been done in this division. That'd be freaking cool as hell, and that keeps us on track for our growth numbers and really seeing, okay, what can we do? So for us, we need to be getting 10 plus people onto the newsletter. Cool, we can do that. We need more recruits, and we need the right recruits, and we need to keep building those layers. I think you guys have done a really solid job with the kids that we have. We just need more good kids, you know? So really focusing on that. So again, if we're texting and calling the guys from the interviews, if we're getting, you know, the names from training, and then again, driving that set number per day, that's really gonna make an impact with what happens. So we'll talk about this, you know, a bit on Friday. And I'd love your guys' feedback with that, but I want to make sure if people know how to run the PR program, again, with PRs being 70% of our recruits, you're gonna run a kick-ass office. If you know how to bring people in, how to recruit people, and how to build a team, you're going to run a kick-ass organization. So I really want to make sure everyone really knows the process with that and really maximizing that. And that's a bulletproof way to kick ass. You know, and they were showing us results of like some kids in like honky-donk towns, like some kid ran a branch in a town with like 15,000 people in the whole freaking town, all right, and sold like 157,000, I think it was, or something like that, or 172,000 for their branch office. And like some honky-donk town in like North Carolina where they branched someone once 7 years ago, and that branch had sold 12 grand in their whole branch. And the branch this summer was like trip winner, one of the top performers, and it was because they were driving the PR. They had 72 PRs in their branch office. So, I mean, obviously they're gonna have a good summer, you know? So any questions, comments, any light bulbs that have gone off going through this?
I think we should get like a really big board to do countdown. Like I'm thinking of how I can.
Yeah, I think I still have one at my house that made it there for a meeting, so we can bring it back.
And then there may be another one, but yeah, I was just thinking because I used to have a PR board for that too. Like we taped it off, and it was made for that. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Doing like the tape and having one section for like today, and then a section for the week, so that we can know both stats like every single day. I think that would be awesome.
Yep, I love it.
But driving set number, driving newsletter. Is there any like overall?
I think for us right now, if we do that, if we're driving the daily PR set number and we're driving the newsletter and making sure that our guys are getting PC, they have their plan, and we're really driving to make sure they have the demos they need for the newsletter, we're going to do some damage. Like those are to me like the two biggest things that'll move the needle right now, with like very intentional time. By the way, and I know we've been doing it, but it's like, you know, how do we take it to that next level? You know, with really, like you were saying, making that board where we know where we're at for the week, we know where we're at for the day. You know, the guys that you're running PCs with, do you know exactly, does everyone have structure already? Do you know exactly when their demos are supposed to be? Do we know exactly when their phone time is? Are we making sure they're getting their 7 demos done or whatever they need to do? And if not, where's the breakdown? What's happening? You know, because by the way, you can't forget that for some people, they're not, it's different reasons as to why they're not hitting the demo number. You know, for some people, they're scared to make phone calls, you know, or they're by the phone. For some people, they don't have numbers to call. They don't have numbers to call. Why? Maybe they suck at recommendations, you know, or maybe they're scared to ask for recommendations. Like when they get to that point, you know, we need to know that. When they're calling, are they making enough calls? Or maybe they're scared to make phone calls, or they are making calls and they're always getting put off because they don't build urgency on the phone. And their customer's like, I'm not interested, or call me later. You know, so these are things that we need to like sit down to look at, okay, how many calls, like are they tracking their numbers and a phone jam so we can see how we can help them. So if someone's having trouble, you need to like sit next to them and like listen to them or see what they're doing, so we can find where the hole is and help them get better. So that'll make a really big impact. It's not a one quick fix for everyone because different people will have different issues. So we actually need to dive in a little bit to find out, you know, what is holding this person back. By the way, sometimes you can ask them and they'll tell you. If you're like, hey dude, what's holding you back? Are you not making enough phone calls? Are you getting put off? Do you not have, and if you're not making enough phone calls, is it because you hate phone time? Is it because you don't have, numbers? Maybe like finding out, and they'll say like, no, I'm making a lot of phone calls. It's just nobody's picking up, or people are putting me off, and when they say I'm making a lot of phone calls, what's the next question? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm making a lot of phone calls, and they're like, yesterday, like I made a bunch of phone calls. How many phone calls do you make? 12? Like, are you effing kidding me? Like a bunch of phone calls is like you're making 100 calls a day or something. Okay, like that would be considered a lot of phone calls. All right, 12, and it'll have people seriously, John asked like, dude, I made all these calls and no one picked up, and you're like, bro, how many calls? Like 13, and you're like, you want to punch a face. You're like, are you kidding me? So you have to dig in a little bit more and find out like, well, how many is that? Like I made calls all day. Like what is all day? And how many was that? And they might have been making like 1 call an hour. And so they were just like, I was making calls all day. And I'm telling you, because I've seen this, in the last 14 years that I've been here. It's insane. So anyway, I'll close with this. And I'll pass it over to Mary Lou. But I know that we've done a really great job this year. Mary Lou has done a fucking unreal job really building us to where we are right now, and really building the layers quickly, from a brand new office last year in Houston. That was one of the top offices in the nation, by the way, to build the momentum that we did this year, and really the group that we have right now, and the layers that we have. And a lot of them are away at school. So one thing we haven't done yet, we didn't do last fall or spring, was really focus on building our local team. And we didn't really know exactly how to unlock our local team. We kind of figured out during the holidays and into the spring, but I think we both really, we know what we need to get done now, and we have a great foundation. So it's like, all right, let's build this thing from here, because we have a good crew to build off of. So now we really need to build off the PRs from them and get ready for the January program, the Christmas program, which will be huge. I'm super stoked for that. I love the break program, and it's just like a little taste of summer and getting you guys ready. But we have a chance to do something really special, and I want to finish the year off strong. Like we didn't hit our goal that we wanted to for the summer. We did a freaking hell of a job, but I want to make sure that whatever happens this year, that we're doing the right things. I don't want to finish this fall and go, crap, we weren't driving a daily PR set number. Like that's so elementary, but yet it slipped with me this summer even, I don't want to get to the end of the fall and be like, oh my gosh, we weren't, driving this. So just, there's so many good things happening already, but it's just, here's what you're going to learn in this business, that it's just that it really is that one little millimeter, that one little thing, like a little tweak here, a little tweak there, that can make a world of a difference in the results that happen. It's nothing major, it's not like, oh, you guys haven't been calling PRs. Oh yeah, like everyone's been hitting their 5 per day. Everyone's, like we're doing stuff, we're telling people like, yeah, we got you on the newsletter, we're promoting it. And it's just like little tweaks. So with team meeting, and we talked about like promoting the newsletters, like this week, the top reps, did you guys see what the top reps shipped this week in the nation? Yeah. 50 grand, 40 grand for the week, a rep. Like there's people earning $25,000 last week. Like that is what I promote at a team meeting, and that excited people are like, what? Yeah, that's stupid. Like that's ridiculous. Like the income opportunity is insane. So, who's going to be getting on the newsletter? So really promoting that newsletter from, by the way, on all standings, from like, look what happened nationally this past week, look what happened regionally, like congrats to everyone regionally, and then hey, here's the top people in our office, but really recognizing and driving those numbers. So promoting what's possible and recognizing people on the newsletter, and then with the PRs, making those tweaks to driving the numbers. Again, those little tweaks and stuff that's already happening, that you guys already have in place, will really make a big impact. So any other questions for me? Cool. Well, I'm really excited for Friday. I'm really excited for prep. It'll be right here. So I'm really pumped about it. And we got to figure out some stuff. Mary, I don't want to get fired next week. I read that I'm like hosting. Just some politics on things. So anyway.
Can we publicly recognize Mary Lou for cleaning this entire office and organizing all of it? Because
Yeah.
Well, also, I mean, I would have liked help when I only asked like 3 times, but.
At least you look stylish while you're doing it.
Well, I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
also like help.
And by the way, if you guys can just work hard to make sure to keep it that way, because I know she came in the next day and it was like, what the heck, you know? And it's like she stayed up late, came in early, like worked hard on getting some things in place. Like, let's work really hard to, at night, take 5 minutes before we leave, straighten up all the chairs, make sure shit's in its place, and then roll, you know? Like, that 5 minutes makes a world of a difference. And I know for me, when I'd walk into an office and it's like all organized and clean, like, oh, I'm in such better like spirits and ready to work. And it's just so much nicer versus walking in and be like, are you effing kidding me? And it just like totally throws you off for the day where you're coming in ready to like create, and then you're like caught off guard by the effing mess, you know, and wanting to clean up, because you know, how things look really does make a difference. You know, when people are coming in here and recruiting, it really does impact it. So I think that's really important. But yes, thank you. And we've got a big month to make sure that we get everything ready and we get things in line. So I really want to make sure, again, we're really building that momentum the right way before Mary Lou will be back home and running things for a couple weeks from away, and really giving you guys a chance to really step in and show what you're made out of. But I just want to make sure you guys are feeling really good with driving systems the right way over the next weeks. And I'll be around and be in and out, making sure, you know, I want to get calls, anything that I can support you guys with to make sure the pilot's where it needs to be. And then, yeah, this Friday's prep. So yeah, see you later, bye. But I'm gonna hand things over to you so you need some
No,
testing.
we're just role playing the interview, so we can do the
Start drilling.
no role play first. I don't want
Okay.
to see them drill awfully. So
These guys are role playing with each other.
Yeah, role play with each other, and then they can stay on because then we will drill. So
Okay.
we'll do.
You
We haven't
guys
done
practice.
product and pay, product, and market. So we'll do pay first. Yep.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right,
Turn
let's
this
do it.
around.
Yeah, you can turn it around. Do you guys put on music or anything?
We usually do. However, I left my laptop. So
Said pay product and then.
pay, product. I'm sorry, product, market, pay. That's the order.
So we're not doing paper.
I'm sorry, it's not called market in your script. It's called sales program. My script is market. Yep.
So
Is there an extra vehicle here or no? I
What do you
said, is
mean?
there an extra vehicle that I forgot that I don't have my car in.
I mean, my car's here.
You can use my car as long as you don't go 140 in it.
I didn't know that was turned on.
What?
It's just joking. You can use my car as long as you don't go 140 in it. It's great.
So you say sprays with a
It's
K.
great. Yeah, it's
Okay, cool.
There's another one. Fat.
I don't understand this one, but it
I'll
sounds
just work
cool.
here. Once there's a, if I can steal one of your cars,
You want to take my car?
or can you guys all get home safely? I took your car.
I don't know.
You guys gonna be for like 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I'll just.
Yeah, I mean, 20 minutes. Okay, cool. All right, let's do products then. Products
Products.
first. Yeah, since we're still with each other. Yeah, don't do the cutting demonstrations, but just do the reading part of it.
I can mark it.
I'll put music on the one.
Come on, Jason, Jason.
All right, let's go.
Go for it, Joe.
And you said to not do the.
actual
Going at
cutting.
work,
Okay, I
like,
guess it's the
as a
second-
group?
Just read all of
Or-
it.
Just read all of it?
Okay, let's
Are
just
you
do
my partner?
partners.
Cutco products are the
Alright,
world's
Jonathan.
finest. We have over 100 products in our line.
Well, stand up like you're running the interview so your partner can tell you if you look weird. Well, not both of you need to stand up. One of you's the interviewing.
Okay, Tristan. Yeah, it's very good.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Yep, it hurts.
Can you stand on that? Sure.
That's what the boot is for.
Yeah.
So you can stand.
Okay.
No, I was doing all this.
Okay, so I'm
Alright,
just
let's
gonna read
go.
this thing.
Yeah.
Cutco products are the world's finest. We have over 100 products in our line. We have everything from kitchen knives, gardening tools, pots, pans. Everything we make follows 3 fundamental guidelines. Must be rated number 1 for everything heated dishwasher safe, and of course, made in America. Have you ever heard of a pizza cutter that fits that kind of description? Now you have. Cutco is one of the only products you can buy once, use every single day, and never have to replace. If executive training, you will learn about all the products and how to present them to customers. But for now, I'm just going to show you a few of the more popular items and skipping through that stuff.
Every single day.
So we pick up at the table knives.
Well, you can actually like read through it, like the boutique carver. You know, you explain it differently in the interview than you do on the demo.
But for now, I'm just
So, you just read
explain
it.
it differently. Or the same way.
No, like, see, most high quality knives have straight edges, which both others have straight edges.
Okay, so most high quality knives use straight edges, which go very quickly. Others use straight edges, which will tear apart your food and can't be resharpened. Cutco is the sharpest knives in the world, and we are known for a unique double V edge. It is a recessed edge that has 3 straight edges between each 2 points. So sharp part that does the cutting never makes contact with the board, which helps it stay sharp.
I'm just telling you, you look at
If it looks good, I
And
won't
don't
do
put
it.
The presentation our
I
reps get.
no, my foot's kind of broken.
This is how you're standing. I'm just doing what you're
No, I'm
doing.
wearing this boot gives me like 2 inches on one foot.
Just put it together. I don't know. There you go.
We're heel on the other one.
I'm comfortable.
Well, it's better now.
To be telling your
I
other
was standing
foot behind the desk.
Anyway,
It won't be like this during the interview.
Cutco knives stay sharp for 10 years. And in the presentation, our reps get to cut food, eat it with the customer, whatever. Best part about Cutco is the forever guarantee. If it breaks or needs resharpening, customers can get that set up for free. Table knives. Anyone like steak? Check this table knife out. Tough leather. It's always weird doing this stuff without actually doing it.
Yeah,
You know. All the sets come with table knives. Customers can buy individual knives or sets in our area. We sell a lot of sets. Fisherman solution. We have a whole. Why is that on there? We don't ever have a fisherman solution.
Yeah, you can just skip that line. But you would, I would read we have a whole lot of outdoor items, including.
We do have a whole lot of outdoor items, military knives, K-bars. Our fisherman solution, which is a filleting knife, has been a top-rated filleting knife for 30 years. Now, out of the 10 people who have already, who were already interested in seeing Cutco, saw all 100 products, how many do you think would be willing to buy the products?
Okay.
So
It's good to say it like something because like after using this, I've worded it different ways, and sometimes they'll be like 2, 3, other people will be like 8 or 9, and so it depends on like how you say it too. If you say it exactly like this, a lot of them will say 6 to 7, which is what you want to say.
most of the people that I interview say 6 to 7. Exactly. So most people buy. Our national average is about 60%. Office average is a little bit higher because Cat and Murray were awesome. Sales range from $40 to $4,000. National average sale per rep is about $250. Again, the office average is a little bit higher. It's more like $400. Customers can split up their payments to up to 5 months, so it's affordable for all families. Why do you think that we choose not to sell our stuff in stores? It's too expensive. Exactly. And also seeing to really understand the quality, customers need to see them in action because we're not in stores, we have zero markup. So Cutco is actually cheaper than all the higher quality competitors. That makes it easy on customers and our MEPS delivers our stuff. So
much more easier.
full presentation takes about 45 minutes.
So why
The sad part is it's probably the smoothest I've ever gone through that part of it. Oh God, why?
Probably because you're reading it like
Exactly. These are nice.
straight from the page.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like
I mean, at least there's only like one person in front of me doing it.
Yeah.
So,
When you compare it to their
so who's on the
knives,
live stream
and
right
then
now?
choose our knives, and get our knives, you're like, whoa,
Yeah, I look tired.
That
That makes sense. I've been up since 4.
So really what we just kind
and
of
probably
focus
people
on
from across the
is
nation.
customer relations, what the product sells itself.
Sorry.
The whole presentation takes about 45 minutes
Some
to
good
an hour.
feedback.
And
You can actually have like a very
That's
I want to say it like dominant
Stance.
Yeah, like body language, keeping your hands up and everything. Sitting in one, or like standing in one place. Like what I've noticed is like I'll kind of like sway a little bit.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, stop it. I'm like, okay. So that's good.
That's why I do the all the weight on one foot thing. Yeah. Keep you from walking around.
I know you're tired of
When you guys are done
role
with the
playing.
pay section one time, go to the next section and do all 3 sections and I'll come back.
Okay. So, anyways, I'll just go.
Okay, so Cutco's products are the world's finest. We have over 100 products online. Anywhere from fishing knives.
People watching this from all over the division.
All of our
Just
products we follow the So rated number 1.
Oh, get out of
This
here.
one-
Yeah, I know. I'm ridiculous. All right, you saying.
So Cutco products are the world's finest. We have over 100 products in our line. This contains. We have everything from kitchen knives, gardening tools, and pots and pans. And everything that we make must follow 3 fundamental guidelines. Must be rated number 1, must be forever guaranteed, and dishwasher
This is
safe.
our
And of course, American made. Have you ever heard of a pizza cutter that fit that description?
No.
Oh, well, no, yeah. And Cutco is one of the only products you can buy once, use every day, and you never have to
I
replace it.
asked them
And if accepted to training, you'll learn all of our products and how to present them to customers. But for now, I'm just going to show you a few of our most popular items. These are super shears. They're incredibly strong, and they come apart to go in the dishwasher. The most high-quality knives have straight edges, which will dull quickly. Others have serrated edges, which would tear your food, and they can't be resharpened. Cutco is the sharpest knife in the world, and we're known for our unique double edge. It's a recessed edge that has 3 edges in between each 2 points, so the sharp part that does the cutting never makes contact with the cutting board. Cutco knives will stay sharp for up to 10 years. In the presentation, our reps get to cut and eat food with their customers. And the best part about Cutco is our forever guarantee. If it ever breaks or needs sharpening, customers can send it back and get it replaced for free forever. The guarantee applies to everything that we make, which is one of the reasons why we have over 20 million customers. Does anybody like steak? This guy.
I'm a vegan.
Perfect. So check out this table knife on some tough leather. All of our sets come with table knives. Customers can buy individual knives or sets. In our area, we like to sell a lot of sets. We also have a line of outdoor items, including our military knives called K-Bar. Our fisherman solution has been rated as a top fillet knife for over 30 years. Now, out of 10 people who are already interested in seeing Cutco, if they saw all 100 products that we make, how many think would buy at least something?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. Actually, most people get closer. It's actually about 60%. Our office average is a little bit higher, and sales will range anywhere from $40 up to $4,000. But the national average is about $250. Our office average is actually about $427. And customers can split up their payments up to 5 months, so it's affordable for all families. Why do you think we choose not to sell in stores?
Because it makes it cheaper.
Yeah, it does make it cheaper, so there's a lot less overhead, and also there's a lot of value in it. Seeing is believing, and to really understand the quality, customers will need to see them in action. And because we aren't in stores, we have 0 markup, so it is cheaper. And that makes it easy on customers and our representatives. And UPS delivers, so all of our reps take care of it. It's just paperwork. The whole presentation takes about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, I didn't know that until.
And that's how it's done.
Yeah.
So now out of 10 people who
Quick thing though, especially about the stance and also tone of voice.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you're just tired. I mean, I know when I'm tired. Put a little bit more energy, maybe a little bit more depth into it. And then the way that you're standing, it's sort of like this. Like your lower section is kind of sticking out. Yeah, you're just kind of sitting there. Yeah. Kind of takes away the power. Yeah. Suck it in. Shoulders back.
Mountain pose.
Something that I do whenever I'm actually doing, because I do speeches and all that stuff for like college and whatnot and everything. Every time I do that, I get myself sitting like this whenever I do stuff. As soon as I get up there, is I bring my shoulders back. Yeah. Before I get down, I do this. It helps.
but it doesn't help when you do overhead squats at 4 in the morning. That's just awful. That's how you die. What else do we need to go through?
Next page.
Paper.
Do the sales program. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a little bit longer section because that's actually a page and a half.
Wonderful.
It's all laid out pretty easy though.
Can I do this sitting down?
Things should stand up.
Really, really good.
Coach, go for skill.
So our target customers are married ladies between 30 and 60 years old, basically every household in America. We do presentations to in customers' homes. Where do you think the best place is to do the presentation with customers?
We're kitchen.
Exactly. And our reps like to do it because they're, because they're cutting food, getting fed, and all. We have trouble with that sentence every time. And our reps like it because they're cutting food, fed, all their presentations.
Yeah, I usually say kind of different.
Yeah, where you think the best place is in the kitchen. Exactly. So the kitchen's a great place. It's where everybody does their cooking. It's a perfect environment for showing kitchen knives. There's absolutely no door-to-door telemarketing, canvassing, or cold calling. It's based on referrals, so we only see friends and friends. Our reps can only call customers who they have been personally recommended to. So it's always a warm, comfortable environment. They are constantly meeting people they've never seen strangers. At the end of every presentation, our reps simply ask their customers who they think would be nice enough to see the presentation. The average customer refers about 3 people. Many refer 10 or more. Most reps average between 5 and 10. Who do you think our customers typically refer?
Friends and family.
Exactly. So customers love giving referrals because it's a great product and they want to help out.
So every customer's already
now we want to make sure our representatives are only calling referrals who are expecting a call. So the customer will either call or text the referrals and get permission for the rep to call. Every customer is already expecting a call and they have already agreed to see the presentation. We are only showing to interested customers. Since the connection is already made, our reps simply call the referral, find a time that works, and both of them find a time that works, and both work schedules. Each appointment leads to 3 more, and then 3 more, and 3 more. As long as the rep follows the program, they will never run out of customers, and it grows exponentially. To begin this process, our reps start through paid practice presentations. After practicing with each other during training, who do you think the reps would feel most comfortable with practicing?
Our reps feel most
comfortable.
Exactly. It would be awkward to show a complete stranger right out of training, so our reps practice with relatives, family, friends, parents, etc. This allows our reps to practice their presentations while getting paid in the beginning of the referral process. Most reps practice with about 15, some more, some less. Our reps who are more social have parents with large networks typically do more than 15. So this will allow them to hit promotion more quickly and build a lot of referrals right away.
Our reps who are more social or the parents are really networked out.
There's zero obligation to buy, but do you think a lot of those people end up buying? For reps here in the area, we have virtual demos for reps to do online presentations. Cassie Green, I imagine, sold 20,000 through virtual appointments around school schedule.
I instead say Jeremy Jones because he is a real person that I know about, and he sold about 30 grand in virtuals. He's from Houston, Gallery.
The referral process begins right away, so do you see how it builds exponentially? And again, we are only showing friends of friends, and since we start with people we know, it's always a more comfortable environment. There are no territories, so sales reps travel and sell content anywhere, even out of state. But typically our reps work close to home because that's where most of the referrals come.
So it's always
Our
warm,
reps determine their own schedule. We have no minimum or maximum number of presentations
There are no
that can
territories,
be
so
done.
that's trouble where
Our reps can
you
do
go
plans during the day, in the
Personally, I
evening,
like to just stay kind of close to
or
where
the
I am.
weekends. Our
I would
average,
do that just because,
on average, our part-time reps do 7 appointments per week, which is
our
1
reps
to
determine
2
their own
a day
schedule. There's no minimum and there's no
for
maximum
students, and the majority of the appointments on the weekend. Full-time reps average from 15 to 20 appointments, which is about 3 a day on average. Our reps do not need to work full-time schedules to earn full-time income. Our reps can keep the same schedule each week, which gives them a consistent, steady, stable schedule.
and earn a steady
Or they can change each week depending on school, sports, family obligations, or vacation.
Oh boy. I need to start since I doesn't talk at us. So our target customers are married ladies between 30 to 60 years old. Basically every household in America. We do presentations in the customer's home. Where do you think the best place is to see products like Petco? Kitchen, exactly. And our reps like it because they're cutting food and getting fed on a lot of their presentations. There's absolutely no door-to-door telemarketing, canvassing, or cold calling. It's based on referrals. And so we only see friends of friends of friends. Our reps can only call customers who they are personally recommended to, so it's always a warm, comfortable environment. They're constantly meeting new people, but never seeing strangers. So strangers, right? Okay. At the end of every presentation, our reps simply ask their customer who they think would be nice enough to see at their presentation. The average customer refers 3 people, but many refer 10 or more. Most reps average between 5 to 10. Who do you think our customers typically refer?
Close friends.
Yeah, exactly. Neighbors, coworkers, those kind of people. Customers love giving referrals because it's a great product and they want to help our students. Now, we want to make sure all of our representatives are only calling referrals who are expecting a call, so the customer will either call or text the referrals and get permission for the reps to call. Now, every customer is already expecting a call and they've already agreed to see the presentation. We're only seeing interested customers. Since the connection is already made, the reps simply call the referral and find a time that works in both their schedules. Each appointment leads to 3 more and 3 more and 3 more. As long as the rep follows the program, they'll never run out of customers. It grows exponentially. As long as the rep, to begin this process, our reps start through paid practice presentations. After practicing with each other during training, who do you think our reps would feel most comfortable practicing with next?
Friends of friends.
Yeah, friends of friends, or friends and family, people that they know, right? So it would be awkward to show a complete stranger right out of training. So our reps practice with relatives, family, friends, and friends' parents. This allows our reps to practice their presentation while getting paid and begin the referral process. Most reps practice with about 15, some more, some less. Our reps who are more social. Our reps who are more social or have parents with large networks typically do more than 15. This will allow them to hit promotions more quickly and build a lot of referrals right away. There's zero obligation to buy, but do you think a lot of these people end up buying?
Yeah, probably.
Of course. For reps new to the area, we have a virtual demo for reps who do online presentations. In fact, Jeremy Jones from the Houston Gallery office, he sold over $30,000 through virtual presentations around his school schedule. The referral process begins right away, so do you see how it builds exponentially? And again, we're only showing friends of friends, and since we start with people that we know, it's always a warm, comfortable environment. And since there are no territories, our reps can travel and sell Cutco anywhere, even out of the state. But typically our reps work close to home because that's where most of their referrals will be. Our reps determine their own schedule. We have no minimum or maximum number of presentations that can be done each week. Our reps can do appointments during the day, in the evenings, and even on the weekends. On average, the part-time representatives average 7 appointments per week, which is about 1 to 2 a day. For students, they'll do a majority of their appointments on the weekend. Full-time reps do 15 to 20 appointments a week, which is 3 a day on average. For reps, our reps don't need to work a full-time schedule in order to earn a full-time income. Our reps can keep the same schedule each week, which gives them a consistent, stable, steady schedule, or they can change each week depending on school, sports, family obligations, or vacations.
So they can't talk through that, can they?
No, they can just watch. We can call somebody names. They can't do anything about it.
Carlos on there?
He might be.
Maybe.
Look at shit in my head. All right. A section. Right. Oh, you're already there. What?
Pay program?
Yeah, last one.
Okay.
And then she said after she finishes, she'll just do it all the way through 1 time.
I figured that.
That's what she put in her when you said.
No, she said everyone go.
So this practical when you put the most work on.
Here's switch colors.
So our reps are paid weekly. We have a guaranteed base pay and commission. So there is a floor to stand on, but no ceiling in income potential. Each week our reps automatically get the higher of the two, either the base or the commission. Most reps make significantly more than significantly more on the commission. But the base pay creates a zero pressure sales environment and a safety net in case, Murphy's Law. Our base pay is $15 or $16 per presentation, and the presentation takes about how long?
45 minutes to an hour.
If the rep does 10 presentations that week, they would earn how much?
If a rep does 20 presentations,
160.
If they did 20 presentations, 300. If they did 5 presentations, 75. Customers,
you're still making over $80.
huh?
320 and 80.
Must so customers must be over
For the base
years
pay
old
amount.
Yeah.
and work full time. On the incentive side,
Customers must be over 30 years and work full time or retired like grandma. On the incentive side, the customers start at 10%,
so it's perfect
and the process goes all the way up to 30%.
So even at
With
10%
cumulative career
sales,
sales, and the levels never go backwards. So
reps still make
perfect,
more than
so
on
it's perfect just
commission
to
they will
work on a
base.
break basis.
So at 30%,
So even at 10%
$10 sale,
on a normal
you're
size
still
order,
making
that's
$700.
$250. The
Spend
rep
about 1 hour
makes more
more
on the commission than
And
on the
obviously
base
our
pay.
reps are
And
motivated
at
for the
30%,
hard work
they're making
because they make
$75
those
on the same
So
size
the
average
promotion
sale.
levels are
Obviously, our
typically
reps
hit
are
quickly,
motivated to work
but
hard and
our
make sales.
average
Promotion
reps
levels are
hits
typically
the first
hit
promotion
mostly
in the first 3
quickly.
days. Now,
Our reps hit the first
we also have
promotion
the thing called
usually within the first 3 days of the job.
30%
30% commission level is achieved at $10,000 in sales. We call this
People
very
that
great.
hit the 30-30.
Depending on how many appointments the rep does per week, they can reach this $10,000 anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. We even have reps who hit this in the first 10 days in a contest we call the fast months. Our reps work really hard to get to 30%. Once they hit that level, they have earned $2,000 in commission.
But
More importantly, it gives them the ability to work a part-time schedule and earn full-time income. That way, they are financially free and focus on school, and life is not
part-time schedule, but makes full-time
does not
income.
feel like they're
That way
working
they're
part-time.
financially free and can focus on school life
And
not
school and life at
every time to make
school
a
and life not feel like a
We also have bonus levels.
We also have bonus levels that go all the way up to 50% commission for top students and career reps. Those levels are explained during training, and for those who are accepted.
For those
You
who are
see how this self-motivated,
But
see how this
what
is
this
self-motivated
job and why our reps get what they put. They get out what they put.
talking at the same time.
Very good.
We don't talk that. We can know that.
Huh.
We talk about the same time as it is. Now, our reps are paid weekly. We have a guaranteed base pay and commission pay, so there is a floor to stand on, but there's no ceiling to income potential. Each week, our reps automatically get the higher of the two, either the base or the commissions. Most reps make significantly more on the commissions, but the base pay creates zero pressure sales environment and a safety net in case of Murphy's Law. Our base pay is $16 per presentation, and a presentation takes about how long?
more on the commission side, but that
45 minutes to an hour.
day-to-day kind of
Exactly.
service
And if a rep does 10 presentations in a week, they would earn $160.
So our base
If they did 20 presentations that week, they would earn $320. And if a rep does 5 presentations that week, they would still
So I
earn
actually wrote
$80.
all of this on the board,
Customers
so
must be
you
over
guys
30
can
years
just
old
have
and
one.
work full time or retired like grandma. On the incentive side, the commission levels start at 10% and progresses up to 30% based off of cumulative career sales. The levels never go backwards, so it's perfect for students who work
All
on
right.
breaks.
Cool. So let's start drilling. Let's start with Zyla. Get up there.
Okay.
And let's turn the video stream.
So I go like up here.
Yeah, like you're running an interview.
Cool. Am I going through all three at once or just one, or like going one?
What's that?
Am I doing all three at once?
I'd like to see from you the sales program.
Cool.
So everybody watch, and also gonna judge the way you stand and all that. But you can use the script. So
Yeah, I just always
remember
keep
when
it
you
down
guys are
right
getting
here.
drilled for this section, you will have the script. It just can't sound like you're reading it for the first time. So go ahead.
Okay, so a little bit about our products. Now, Cutco's products are the world's finest. We do have over 100 products in our line, ranging from kitchen knives to pots and pans to gardening tools. Everything that we make must follow 3 fundamental guidelines. So it needs to be rated #1, forever guaranteed, and dishwasher safe. Of course, American made just kind of goes with that. Cutco is one of the only products you can buy once, use every single day, and you never have to pay to replace. If you guys are accepted into training, you do learn about the products a little bit more and also how to present them to your customers. But right now, I'm just going to show you a few of our most popular items. So,
Okay, cool. Before you keep going, so the only thing that I would say so far is, obviously you stand well, but whenever you're talking, your voice at the end of every sentence, it always goes up like this, so it always sounds like you're asking a question. So it sounds like you're doubting yourself. So try, in some sentences, try ending up, and others try ending down a little bit. Because whenever you end down, it just shows that like you're confident, like you know what you're talking about. So even if you don't know what you're talking about, it'll still sound like you know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
I never noticed I did that. So
I noticed. All right, ready, set. And they don't notice it either, but the way it sounds and the way it's received could make them think that. Not like, oh, her voice always ends up, but like, does she really know what she's talking about? That kind of thing. All right, go ahead.
Cool. Okay, so these are our super shears, and usually I just ask if anyone has a penny, take it. Cool, so this is how we present it to our customers. We take them apart for them, put them back together. Now, our super shears are very strong. They go through a number of different materials, food, paper, wire, and if ever need be, a penny as well. Got the penny. Cool. This is our petite carver. So most high quality.
What's your favorite word?
No, I know it is. People always tell me that.
Stop saying cool. They're not cool with you. They're not.
No,
your
I don't
friends.
say that to them. I'm just saying like,
Yes,
I
you
got the
do.
penny. Okay.
Well, you're saying it in general, so.
All right.
But they're not your friends.
Very true. Okay. So this is our petite carver. Now, most high quality knives have straight edges, which do go dull very quickly. Others are serrated edge knives, which rip and tear through your food, and they cannot be resharpened. So Cutco is the sharpest knife in the world, and we're known for our unique double D edge. There's 3 recessed edges between every 2 points, which means that the actual cutting part of the knife is never hitting the cutting board or the plate. Therefore, it's never going dull, or it is, just not very quickly. So our knives actually last up to 10 years.
All right, well, I'm going to stop you there. So I'm going to say a 4. What do you guys think?
I was mostly just listening to the voice. I would say after Mary Lou mentioned the going up
The going up.
I didn't notice that either.
it got a lot better after she gave you the quick critique on that. So 5.
Yeah, it'll make you sound more confident for sure. Anybody else? Any other feedback, things I didn't pick up on?
No, picked on.
I would say just put like the beginning at least, the very beginning, put like a little bit more emphasis in your voice because you sound like it's kind of like you've been through it 100 times, and they want to hear like it's new because for them it's new for the first time every time. So they don't want it to seem like you do this like 10 times a day. They want to say like this is their demo. You know what I'm saying? This is their training.
That's
Just put a little bit more emphasis.
Good point. Yeah.
Besides that, I would say if more emphasis, 5. Because that like 4 or 4.
Yeah. And also, I hold your script in one hand too, just because when you leave it on the table, it doesn't look as professional. But
Okay.
when you do hold it in your hand and you do read off it, I think it does give a similar effect to what John Austin's saying, that they see, okay, she doesn't do this all the time because she's reading it. Some people think that that's a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing, because a company that's constantly hiring, although it sounds good the way we present it in the interview,
Right.
may not always look really good to other people looking into the company. So just, those two things. So hold the script,
Keep that.
voice inflection. But other than that, obviously you know it. Obviously you've done it a ton of times. So I would just be conscious of those two things. You'll be 100% better than everybody else in the room. By the way, just because you've done it so many times, those are just like more advanced things that I can tell you now because you've already done a lot of it. So, Joe,
Yes.
let's see the product section. Tell us about the beautiful Cutco products.
So do I beginning or?
Yep, start from the beginning.
Cutco products are world's finest. We have 100 products in our line. We have everything from kitchen knives, pots, pans, and outdoor tools for gardening, etc. Everything we make follows 3 fundamental guidelines. Has to be rated #1, forever guaranteed, and dishwasher safe. Of course, made in America goes in with that. We have
Slow down a little bit.
Hmm?
Slow down a little bit.
slow down.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
like Speedy
You're doing the
Gonzalez.
sales rep thing. I
Yeah.
get told that all the time about talking about sales.
Yeah, so I would slow down just a little bit, and we can hear you fine because we're sitting right in front of you, but if you had like a recruiting class of like 10, 15 plus people, they may not be able to hear everything you're saying. So try to enunciate your words a little bit more. It might
Right.
sound weird at first, but trust me, like you don't want them to have questions later because that's just super annoying. It is. I hate
Yeah.
it.
All right. Have you ever heard of a pizza cutter that fits that description? Now you have. Cutco is one of.
Does this say that?
It does.
Yes.
It does
I
say
don't
that.
say it. I
I
don't say
You
that.
know how to say that, like,
Yeah.
nice, or like, yeah.
Well, now you have. I guess it's just more matter of fact. I don't know.
Cutco is one of the only products that you buy once, use every single day, and never have to replace. If accepted to training, you'll learn all about the products and how to present them to customers. But for now, I'm just going to go through some of our most popular items.
Try and keep the hand that's holding your paper a little bit more still, because you're doing like some sort of wing motion, and it's kind of weird. But you can do it with one hand, but don't do it with both hands. So
Right.
remember, one's your home, one is your movement hand. So all right, go ahead.
So then I cut the penny, and go to the petite carver. So most high quality knives have straight edges, which go dull very quickly. Others use serrated edges, which rip and tear apart your food. And then once they get dull, then they're paperweights effectively. Cutco is the sharpest knives in the world, and we're known most for our unique double D edge. It's a recess edge that has 3 straight edges between every 2 points. So the sharp part of the knife never actually makes contact with the cutting board, which is what dulls your knives. Because of that, Cutco knives will stay sharp for 10 plus years. In the presentations, our reps get to cut food and
When
eat it
you
with
want
the
to say
customers.
just pause.
Right.
Try that.
In the presentations, our reps get to cut and eat food with the customers. The best part about Cutco is the forever guarantee. If it ever goes,
Nope. Say that sentence again. I'm just gonna make you re-say it. Well, I'm just like whenever you pause, it's a lot more powerful because you have to remember that they're terrified right now. So whenever you pause, they're just like, "What's he gonna do?" type thing. When really you're like, "I just fucking lost my place." But all right, keep going.
Okay. The best part about Cutco is that is the forever guarantee. If it ever breaks or needs resharpening, customers can get it sent back and replaced for free. This is gonna be a while, guys.
That's okay.
I do the same thing. It's gonna do the same thing.
That's what we're here
Best
for.
part of Cutco is our forever guarantee. If it breaks, needs sharpening. The best part about Cutco is our forever guarantee.
If you slow down, by the way, it prevents you from doing that. So you can slow down a little bit. more.
all my interviews always go over time, so
Well, they go over time, probably just like the process, maybe the pre or the post. So we'll look at that. But
Mhm.
for the group, I don't see how you would go over time. You million miles a minute. But
Okay.
all right.
The best part about Cutco is our forever guarantee. If it ever breaks or needs sharpening, customers can get it sent back and get it replaced for free. The guarantee applies to everything we make, which is one of the reasons we have over 20 million customers. and then go through all the other stuff too?
No, you can stop there. I think the one thing with you, Joe, is once you fix those little things, cool. Now you sound more confident. You look more confident. But since you're already a tall guy, deep voice, whatever, you already look intimidating. There's no, sometimes it's okay for you to crack a smile a couple times throughout the interview. So, for, short people, I'd be like, duh, you don't need to smile when you cut the penny, whatever. For you, and even when you say the pizza cutter thing, you can be like, well, now you have. And, just make it a little bit funny if you want. But don't be afraid to smile because people want to work with, fun people too. So it's kind of like they like you. They don't want to mess with you, but they're like, oh, I see he's a cool guy under there too. So you can let a little bit of Joe out, like the real Joe. We all know who the real Joe is. You can let him out a little bit. I hope so after all this time. So just smile a little bit more. All right, Cripple, get up there.
Can I use yours or not?
Yeah, go for it.
Go get him, Cripple.
I got you.
Let's go, Gimpy.
You want to go to IHOP later?
Alright, you can have Judgment of the
I
West.
got a burger with
No, but come on.
I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
It's okay. It didn't break or anything.
You're right.
It's glue sticks. So the
No
pictures
way.
are- Well, I glue stick the
I
picture.
thought you meant it was glue stick to the wall. And I
No.
was like, how does he do that?
I'm not a wizard.
Sweet.
You can rock interviews in crutches, by the way. I've seen two people do it very successfully. One is Taylor, the other one's my best friend Andy. Like, including some of our sharpest people in freaking crutches. So, anyway, do the
whole thing.
get started sales program.
Alright. So, our target customers are married ladies between the ages of 30 and 60 years old. This is because they all have families, they all have a household, they all need to cook and clean. These knives were great for that, cooking that is. We do presentations in the customer's home. And why do y'all think we do presentations in the customer's home?
Because of blah, blah, blah.
Why are y'all laughing at me?
I'm not laughing.
Yeah. Okay, alright.
Don't look at him.
Y'all,
Just go in the corner. Go in the corner. I'm trying to critique this man right here. This crippled boy.
so yeah, most of our reps prefer to do it
Don't
in the.
say that.
What?
So yeah.
Sorry, I was getting back into our.
How about you
Cheers.
start this section over?
Okay.
Okay.
So-
go ahead.
All right, our target customer is married women in between the ages of 30 and 60, and this is because they all have families, they all have a house, so they all have a kitchen and need knives. Now, when we do these presentations, we do them in the customers' houses. So where do y'all think is the most appropriate and the most comfortable place for the customers to do these presentations in?
Kitchen.
Exactly, the kitchen. They're already used to working in the kitchen, so because of this, they feel more comfortable. It just works a lot better. There's absolutely no door-to-door, no telemarketing, no cold calling whatsoever. This is based on referrals only, so you only see friends of friends of friends. Now, that being said, our reps only call customers they've been personally recommended to. So it's always a warm and comfortable environment. Now, we are constantly meeting new people, but we're never seeing strangers because they're already anticipating us to call. At the end of every presentation, our reps simply ask the customers to write down people that would be nice enough to see their presentation. Now, the national average is 3 customers per demo. Now, we personally, our office is on fire, so we get a little bit more than 3. But many people in our office get 10 or more references per demo. So, why do you think customers typically refer friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers? Because
That's people they know.
yeah, exactly. Customers love giving referrals because it's a
All right,
great.
stop right there. So 2 things that I noticed. The first one is that now is actually your filler word, not So
Now,
yeah, so
Okay.
like when you're in between sentences, it sounds like you kind of know like what the end of the sentence is. So you'll look up and you'll talk to the group, but you'll forget, okay, what's the
The
next
next
sentence?
part.
So then you'll say
you're right.
now, and you're looking for you're like
Okay,
now.
I feel that.
We see people that are 30 to 60 years old, and we see them in the kitchen. Why do you think that is? Exactly. Now, And you're like saying now like in between every sentence. So that's why I looked at the script like, does it say now that many times? I don't think so. And then the second thing is whenever people respond to questions correctly, you know, you're not a teacher. You're not handing them gold stars. You're not like, good job. Exactly. That's right. Go get them, Tiger. Like, it's just like okay, sure. Remember, you want to keep them fighting for the responses. And the fact that we kind of feel like, okay, these are like dumb questions or whatever, this is not really like the way that you want to present them. So, or the way that you're responding to them makes it seem that way a little bit. So I would respond to things like, sure, okay, anybody else? Stuff like that, just to make them, because if you have sharp kids in your interview and they're hearing these questions and you're not like downplaying their answers a little bit, then they're just going to be like, okay, like anybody can get this job. But, you know, if your sharp kids are fighting for it, like, for example, I remember you in the interview, you were like sitting like somewhere here, right in the front. Yeah, right there. Yeah. And every time I would ask questions, I'd kind of say to the group, and if you guys ever like raise your hand and like want to give answers, I'd like purposely not call on some of you sometimes. And I didn't see you guys continue to fight, you know, to try and answer questions throughout because you wanted to be that top performer. So now, even though you came in like, I don't know if I want to do this Cutco thing, now all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, you know.
That's some sneaky.
Super sneak, super.
Actually.
But that's how you recruit, you know. So if somebody ever tells you like their recruiter like might be on a different level, they like schmooze people, take them out to lunch type thing. But there's different things that they do that's kind of like, here you have the job, now they take it away a little bit. Yeah, not so much. So yeah, your sharp kids are gonna feel like they have it for two reasons. One, their friend works here, or two, they look at the people in the room and they're like, okay, I'm gonna work here type thing. But if you make them fight for it, they're gonna be like, oh fuck, you know, and take a lot of notes, all that stuff. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, so you don't have to be so nice with them.
Okay.
Basically.
Don't be nice to them.
No, you can be.
No, you're wrong. I
I
can do that.
No, you don't have to be like that nice to them, because you have more of a friendlier appeal to you. So.
Also, like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then just kind of move on.
Exactly.
Dismiss it, but like, you're correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, so keep
Like
going.
it's a new pledge, you don't like that much. Like,
No.
No, if it's a new pledge, I don't like them. It's
not that much.
No, you don't have to keep going to the next section. Does anybody else have any feedback for John A?
I was going to say something about posture, but then I remembered to move on.
Ow. Yeah. It's a little bit. My posture's a little bit off.
Jesus. Okay.
What else, guys? Like, I want to get better at this. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna be like.
I put down a few things when we were like partnering up, but like you literally said like half the things I put down. One, I kind of the same thing. Like you're just very friendly, so you come off super friendly, and you also use slang sometimes, which you shouldn't.
Okay.
Like
True.
you're like, oh, this is fire. Like, no, don't say that.
I know it's a hard adjustment for you. We understand this.
It is. This is.
Brosif, just pick.
And then also, I would say just use, like, from what I saw there, just use, like, less head and body movement. Because you do this when you're reading a lot, but, like, you should just kind of look at them and just kind of keep a posture and just kind of, like, nod your head. Because you, like, move your head around.
I didn't even know I moved my head.
So
But okay.
It's like a little, I don't want to say it's, like, distracting, but it brings off your personality again. It's like you're talking to a friend versus, like, getting...
The
I
time
need to
to
get more
bring your
stone cold.
the time to bring your personality out in the interview is like anytime you're talking about anybody's friend, and then anytime you're talking about the team. That's when they can see you guys get like pumped up about it because you're talking about people that already work with you.
Okay.
You know, if you're referencing them, it's always like, "No, you suck." You know, they're awesome.
True.
Work with me type thing. The last thing I was actually going to tell you that I noticed is just. In general, you seem like the kind of person that likes to like walk around or have a lot of movement when you're speaking. So staying in one position may not be the best interview style for you. And I've seen people, especially if they have like extreme ADD and they literally need to be doing something at all times.
Yeah, I can't stand still. That's why I like to use my hands a lot.
If you want, you can periodically like walk over to one side of the desk and then walk to the other side of the desk, but only the corners. And then whenever you're going to explain something that's on the PowerPoint screen, you want to come back to the middle of the desk. Obviously, right now you can't do that with you, but later on when you take that off, you can feel free to use your space, but don't be like pacing. So you can move to one corner. When you get to the next section of the interview, maybe move back to the center so you can point out the PowerPoint, and then you can move to the other corner. And it's kind of like a game for you, so you're more focused throughout it, and you're not like crazy.
Yeah, I feel like once I like have it memorized, like the demo, I'll just be like,
yeah,
killing it.
sure.
Anytime I
All
gotta
right,
memorize
Austin, your turn. I'm done with the
Thank you.
bra.
it.
Done with this, bro. Broski, do the sure, do the pay. Yeah, sure, do the pay. You don't have to write it on the board or anything, just pretend it's up there.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Alright, so I got Zyla, John, Austin, Joe, and now Austin.
So our reps are paid weekly. We have a guaranteed base pay and commission pay, so there is a floor to stand on, but there's no ceiling to income potential. Each week, our reps automatically get the higher of the two, either the base pay or the commissions. Most reps make significantly more on the commissions, but the base pay creates zero pressure sales environment and a safety net in case of Murphy's Law. Our base pay is $16 per presentation, and the presentation should take about how long?
45 minutes.
Right. And if a rep does 10 presentations that week, they would earn $160. If they did 20 presentations that week, they would earn $320. And if a rep does 5 presentations that week, they would still earn $80. Customers must be over 30 years old and work full-time or retired like grandma. And on the incentive side, the commission levels start at 10% and progress up to 30% and based off of cumulative career sales. The levels never go backwards, so it's perfect for students who work during the breaks. So even at 10%, a normal order size of $250, reps still make more on the commission side than the base. At 30%, they're making $75 on that same average order size. Obviously, our reps are motivated to work hard and make sales. The promotion levels are typically hit quickly. On average, reps hit the first promotion within their first 3 days on the job. The promotion levels are hit, oh, I said that. The 30% commission level is achieved at $10,000 in sales. We call this the dirty 30. Depending on how many appointments a rep does in a week, they can reach $10,000 anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. We even have reps who hit it within first 10 days of, within 10 days in a contest we have called the Fast Start. Our reps work really hard.
Let's stop right there. So, anybody notice anything so far?
Posture was one thing.
Did I do it again? I tried to
A little bit, yeah. It's better.
I need to like crack it back.
I would say just like obviously not add your own like stories and whatnot, but don't read just like word for word from the script. And then there's like the smiley face next to Murphy's Law, and you said it so seriously. I think it's supposed to be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like you're like, you know, in case of Murphy's Law. And then for you know, if you don't
Some
have
people may not know.
Yeah, because I say
I know,
what
like
say is,
it's
just
weird
in
saying
case-
that sometimes.
Well, I say, you know, just in case Murphy's Law and everything goes wrong. That's what I say. Like I kind of explain it and I just kind of like smirk about it.
Yeah.
But I like smile and then just kind of make it more natural, I guess, and not read word for word from paper.
Yeah, so I was going to say something a little bit similar. I was going to say definitely smile. You have a beard now. No, seriously, like you makes you look scarier. Like before you looked like younger before, like you had like flow, you know, now you have a shaved head and a beard.
A scar.
And a scar. Yeah,
Yes.
like you know
Two.
you look a little. You need to just be a little bit more like open and smiley a little bit, not like overly intense, but like when you're talking about like maybe the commission pay and how rep increases, like that's an exciting thing. Well, why not crack a little smile? And then you're like the opposite of John Austin. You're like extremely still. Like,
Really?
yeah, but it's like it's kind of peaceful, but at the same time, it's like whenever you go to like. Oh, and then the second thing is when you go to point at something, maybe it's a board, just move your head with it too. Don't stay looking at the paper, and make eye contact with them so that they look at the board, you know, as well, because it'll just keep them more engaged if they see that you're paying attention to what they're doing and not just what, you know, you're doing too. So that's kind of like the balance all of you need to learn too, is like knowing that they're they're watching you, right? So it's not just you paying attention, like, am I doing this interview correctly, but also paying attention to the things they're doing or pretending to, so they actually feel like they're getting recruited. Because at the same time, it is an actual interview, and if there's someone in there that you don't want to accept, you don't need to accept them. But you'll never know or have things to point out in the post if you're not actually paying attention. So actually point things out and stare at them so that they feel like they're being recruited. That's pretty much what I'd say. You know, go ahead.
I would say the only one thing would be like when you said if a rep does 10 presentations, they earn 160, 20. On the, if a rep, you should say, if a rep only does 5 presentations a week, they still make $75 because these are some like broke ass high school and college students. 5 demos a week, they're thinking 5 hours a week, that's like one shift, and I'm getting like $75 from that. That's crazy. So like if you emphasize that, because they don't realize like what to emphasize on, they're just like going with it because you're the person they're supposed to go with. But if you tell them like get excited for this basically with your voice, they'll get excited for it and they'll be like, holy shit, I can make a lot of money off this.
That's a good point. I didn't notice. Okay.
I was trying to like straighten up and everything because, I mean, I've always like my biggest thing was always like I'd like walk in place. Or like I'd move a little bit. I always so like I think someone even told me like put your thumb on the desk or whatever. It's like I can't do that, it's too far down. But like I have tried to do that, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess to prevent stillness, I guess just looking at the group, just something that creates a little bit more movement. So it's not just like I'm here because I need to be. I'm just gonna read this and point at this and see if I like you. That could have worked when you had like no beard and long hair. Like, no lie. Just because it makes you look a lot younger, but now you have a full beard and it's.
So like I can be friendlier with a beard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like this one here, if he had a beard, actually needs to.
Image of John Austin with like a big beard.
A blonde beard.
Yeah.
Red, luscious.
But the
You look
hairstyle
like
is the
a
exact
blonde
same.
Jesus.
It's kind of
It'd be like
yes, it's gross.
it'd be like a soft like.
Oh yeah,
Really
it'd be super soft. It'd
Be
be
like
really thin.
wavy.
It'd be really thin. People would be able to see through it. So my hair's really like thin. It's just like really soft. So.
I
It
feel
wouldn't have
like
the burl. It
I
would
feel
not
like
have
he
the burl.
secretly has like a hair routine, leave-in conditioner and all that.
You have no clue.
We were in the GCLA meeting like the last time he was here, and he had his phone and he was like fixing
Probably.
it. Like he
I
has
gotta
a
look good for
certain
you guys. I'm
like
sorry.
a number of
Oh,
strokes
look
he had
good.
to put in it.
Nah, it's just a real quick, just simple. Whatever feels right.
That's
does the 100 brushes in the
You do
mirror
it
Just
through.
every morning.
You do the fingers through, and then you smooth it.
Right.
Oh my god.
He has a comb in his pocket.
Always have the
You
same
should turn
thing.
that so people can see him.
It's so nice because it's so small. Like I let my friend borrow my pants, and he was like, "Hey John, do you have a comb?" I was like, "Yeah, check your back pocket." And he was like, and he reached in there, and I was like, "Dude," and he was like, "Dude," and I was like, "Bro, you didn't even feel that back there, huh?" And he was like, "No."
Do you always have combs in all your pants?
Only this one until I lose it. Yeah, like sometimes I'll like throw them. Like I'll come home and I'll just like throw my pants in the dirty clothes, and then I'll leave the next morning and like go to reach for my like comb during like a class. I'm like.
You comb during class?
Yes, like if my hair, because my hair will start going like this, right? And I don't like chill with this. So I'll, like sometimes if I go like that, it just exactly. So you just gotta kind of like hit it, and then it gets like sometimes you'll get like a pump going up there, and like I'm not trying to look like a cheerleader girl, so I'll like pull it back, and then my
Hair
hair
lessons
knows.
from John Austin Shadow.
I got you guys. I don't know who's watching, but I got y'all.
Bahara and Barbara and Cameron and Zach and John Boss.
John Boss and Cameron, the comb is key. All I can say.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess meeting adjourned. But if you guys could help set up for team meeting real quick, because that's what we have tomorrow. So this table can stay out, but we need to position it preferably in the middle of the room, horizontal, with like 2 or 3 chairs for phone jam stations and phone jam stations in the back, and then maybe a couple with chairs facing each other. But we're ready. Let's go. Let's
Is
roll.
Peyton coming through to Thursdays?
He comes either Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on the week. He told me he'd let me know tomorrow if he was coming tomorrow or if he was coming on Thursday.
Okay.
So you guys haven't had a